Ben as Colton's hero, like it was like, and how cool is that to be able to be in something like this
Totally.
with your hero. And Colton did such a great job. Like we've gotten reviews back and stuff, like just one the other day that said, man, this kid has acting chops. Like he's got a bright future ahead of him. And it's like, man, he does. That kid can do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
And we're just glad we could be like a launching pad for him.
So
It was amazing to be able to work with him. His family is Colton's family as well as Ben's. They're just incredible people, like willing to put their kids out there even when they have differences, and let them shine anyway.
All right. Tanner Christensen, welcome to A Filmmaker's Journey.
Man, excited to be here.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, for sure.
We were just talking about how we got introduced. We didn't even quite know who it was, but it was on the Instagram that is all about the Ben Carr story. Is that how you say his name?
Care, like a Care Bear. Yeah.
Way cool. We actually had him in here.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
One of our clients had him speak on a live event.
Oh.
And we did the live thing in front of our LED wall. So it's been cool to kind of see this story. And I had no idea that you were the director on it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's my first time directing.
Cool.
A feature.
Way cool.
And man, I could not have picked a better story.
Right.
Like he's got just an incredible story.
It's amazing. It's like wild.
Yeah.
Because I remember I went to UVU and I was there when, I don't think it was after he was wrestling, but he's plastered everywhere.
Sure. He's the face of that place for a good long while. So. And
that seems to be the majority of like what you're promoting right now. It's been received really well. I've seen a lot of the, I guess, influencers or just people that have watched it that are talking about it. And I didn't realize it was your first directing gig.
Yeah.
As far as features go.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I've, directed some other like commercials and stuff I hope nobody ever saw,
Yeah.
But this is my first time jumping in to a movie. I've edited for about 20 years.
Way cool.
Other people's films.
Yeah.
And this was my shot to throw my hat in the ring.
How cool. And they say the best editors make the best directors.
Oh, I mean, I don't know who says that, but I love them.
I've heard it.
And I hope it's true. Yeah.
I've heard it. So I've had a few directors in here that hate editing. And I'm like, well, it's not true everywhere.
Yeah.
But there's definitely some truth to that because you have to understand pacing and, you need a wide here, a medium here because this won't cut well together.
Right.
So it's definitely an advantage.
For sure. Yeah.
So this is the film. And I just bring it up because when I looked at your Instagram and your more film-based Instagram, it's just a bunch of the Ben Carr story.
It is. I mean, so I'm not much of a social media guy, but I have had to be for this. And it honestly has gone really well. I don't think I could ever do it again.
Yeah.
Because it's not like I know any special formula or whatever, but it has really resonated with at least some groups on social, and we were able to get the word out about it pretty well. Anyway, it's been, which I'm glad. I think he deserves it. He has an amazing story, and he's super inspirational. But you just never know what's going to hit and what's going to not on social. So,
and while it's up, I'd love to talk about it. But also, just to your point of his story, it's incredible. And I've seen billboards, I've seen so many people, it seems like it's just out there in Utah. I don't know what it's like. Are you guys showing it nationally yet?
Yeah, so we're in just over 100 theaters. We started in just over 100 theaters, and we're in Utah, Idaho. We open in Arizona this week. We've been...
Will you keep that up, Ben? You keep it up. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, it's good. We've been in. So we opened in Arizona this week, and then we've been in probably about 20 other states or so.
Okay.
Not in a ton of theaters in those states, but it's funny where it's going well, and you just never know. Like Bristol, Virginia is just loving it. You know, and it's like, why? I don't know. But anyway, just places. It just we're a little independent outfit trying to get a movie out competing with the big boys.
Yeah.
And like, it's really tough, but it's been like really fun and rewarding, and it's gone about as well as it could.
That's amazing. And like I was saying, he's been in here and like listening to him tell his story, and he did it in a motivational way because he was speaking to door-to-door sales reps and talking about how hard things are and the trials that he went through. And it's unbelievable what he's accomplished. And so how did this become your first gig to direct? Like, how did this fall in your lap? Did you really pursue this? Just tell me a little bit about how you got it.
So I had been looking for an opportunity to do my own film. I mean, I think that's a pretty natural progression for an editor to want to make that jump at some point, and it certainly was true for me. But I was waiting for the right opportunity to come along, and we got approached by a production company here in Utah that was looking for basically a cheap director with a relatively cheap movie idea to do. And I got asked to pitch for that. And this was the Ben Care story was the idea we came up with. And we came up with that because Ben is a guy that I have known my whole life almost. I mean, the original idea for this was probably written down about the time I was in junior high. Like my dad, Tanner Christensen, who's another filmmaker, wrote it down as in his little idea file, Ben Care.
Cool.
And anyway, we were looking for something for this pitch, saw his name, and it was like, boom, that's it. We got to do that. And so we went and pitched it, and it was immediately rejected.
Really?
Like, we didn't even get halfway through the pitch. And we walked out of there, and we were like, I think they've made a mistake.
Yeah.
Like, this is an amazing idea, and we should just do it ourselves.
Right.
And so we were like, you know what? Yeah, we don't need them. Let's just go do it. We'll go do it. And we signed Ben up a couple months later, and we were off to the races.
So cool. And you'd mentioned your dad, TC Christensen. So was he part of this pitch?
Yes. So he was there. I mean, it was my pitch because it was me.
Yeah.
But he was there.
Because he ended up producing it, right? He's listed as the producer.
He's the producer. He shot it.
Cool.
And then our other producer is Jared Hess of Napoleon Dynamite and
I didn't know
Minecraft. That. So Jared was not involved, wasn't attached at that point.
Yeah.
But after we decided to do it ourselves, we were able to bring him on, and
Very cool.
Those are like my two biggest mentors in my life.
Yeah.
And couldn't be more proud to like have them in my corner for my first time.
Yeah, those are some good names to attach to it, and I didn't realize Jared Hess was a part of this as well.
Yeah.
That's a name that everyone knows, at least if they've seen Napoleon Dynamite.
He's like got to be the biggest legend to come out of Utah, I think, in film. Like, he's a huge name. He and his wife Jerusha have done amazing work. I've been just so blessed to be able to know them and work with them a little bit. So yeah.
And your dad, he's typically a director DP, right? Like, he does both.
Yeah, he does both. So he spent like most of his career as a DP. You know, he's a member of the ASC. Yeah. And that for 40 plus years has been shooting other people's films. About 15, 20 years ago, he started getting the itch to do his own movies. Yeah. And has done, he's done about maybe, I don't know, somewhere between 9 or 11. I need to count them up. Coming up on a dozen. And I've been able to work on almost every single one of them with him.
So cool. And I'd mentioned we probably met or at least saw each other.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure in passing, I was on Cokeville Miracle for like 3 days with Paul Hunt, who has I think his name is Paul Hunt. Yeah. Yeah, he was the second AC. Uh-huh. Got really close with him. And I can't remember who the first was, or maybe he was the first. It
was either Byron or maybe Joel Remke. Okay. I'm not sure which one. I know actually during Cokeville there was they had to switch up the camera crew just because of scheduling conflicts and stuff a few times. But probably one of them. But yeah,
I was in a class at UVU, and Bob Condor was the teacher. And while this is the first time I had at least seen your dad, was when I was in that class, and Bob was the first AD. And so TC came in just to talk about budget and talk about the schedule and everything. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, that's TC 17 Miracles and all that stuff. And so it was pretty cool in college to be able to see him and then get an opportunity to just work on set. Cool. So I'm sure we crossed paths.
Yeah.
And when you say you worked on every film, what primarily did you do? Because it sounds like you edited a lot. Did you end up editing?
Yeah, so I've edited all those films. I've also done all the visual effects for them as well. Because, I mean, partial, I think it's, I don't know, my dad would say, oh, it's because you're just so good. I think it's actually because I'm just so cheap. That was, the truth of it. But
yeah, you
anyway,
can fit in our budget.
Yeah, exactly. I fit nice and snug in that budget. So, so I did typically the editing, visual effects. I'd be on set maybe a little bit for visual effects stuff or whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, you've grown up around this world and just naturally had to be a part of it, I'm sure.
Yep.
And so that we'll get back to this point, but that's where I kind of want to rewind. And this is where we talk about your journey. And I want to just go to the beginning for you and then we'll just kind of take it all the way back up to this point. And do you have a memory of when this first got started for you? And it doesn't even have to be when you decided to make this a career. It was just like, this is fun. I want to try this. Do you have a memory of that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it was one specific moment because it was just kind of like in the lifeblood of our family. Yeah. Like that's just what we don't talk about sports necessarily, or I don't know, politics or whatever around the dinner table. It was like we talk about movies. Yeah. And it was just TC was gone on set all the time. And about the time I was, I don't know, 11 or 12 years old, when he had a film in the summer, he would typically drag me along for a few days.
Way cool.
So I would, just be the grunt intern hauling a sandbag around wherever they told me to put it or whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say back then, it got to the point where it was like, I don't know that I want to do this. Yeah. Like, this is like really, it's hard work, like it's a lot of running around. And then if you're not really in the creative side of it, it can be kind of boring.
Yeah.
It can be
hurry up and wait.
Yeah. A lot of hurry up and wait, get that cable over here. And you got to just run your guts out and make sure, that you don't want anybody waiting on you. And I don't know. It was just like, I don't know if I want to do this. And I kind of went, looking for other things, and didn't really find anything, that I was very passionate about, and ended up in college landing a internship at the motion picture studio in Provo, down by BYU.
Yeah.
And in post-production. And I had dabbled with like Avid before, mostly because TC was one of the few people in Utah that had an Avid back in those days.
Yeah.
This was back when they cost more than a house, and he had gone in with a couple business partners on it. And so I had access to it and had a little bit of experience, but not enough to know if I really wanted to do that. But then with this internship, it was like, you know what? This is actually pretty great and like really creative.
Cool.
Really, I think I could do, like, this is something I think I could do and be fulfilling.
So it was post that really spoke to
really
you first.
Got to me first.
Yeah. And so with Avid, I'm not familiar with it. I know that when I was at UVU, they're like, you have to use Avid. But when you were first using it, it was digital, I imagine. You're editing digital. It doesn't have to do with film. What is, when you say it costed a house, like, explain what that software or program was.
So, I mean, now you'd look at it and it's like archaic.
Yes.
I mean, right? I mean, it is like a giant beige box, just a, big, for the time, souped up computer, but it was just, compared to today, ridiculously underpowered. But, with all these special add-on cards and things to go out to to these hard drives that I think held something like 1 gigabyte of media storage. Everything was SD at the time.
Yeah.
And it was film that was then transferred, to tape or something that could be ingested and then had to go back out to film at some point. It was like that, still that world. So it was like the first time we could really do nonlinear editing digitally like that. But then it was still, there was all these things to make sure you could get back to the film and piece that together. Anyway, it was just so when that was first coming out, this was like the early 90s, mid 90s. I mean, it was like $100,000 or more.
And this was just a computer made for just editing.
Just for editing. I mean, you would buy an Avid. I mean, it was called, and it really, that's all it was. It was just a computer with some peripherals and stuff.
Interesting.
But it was so specialized, so expensive that I think there was maybe 3 in the state.
Wow.
At the time.
Yeah.
And then of course with time that changed and everything.
Yeah, became more of a software.
Yeah, but it really was kind of in high school I could go in and edit little stupid VHS movies that I'd made with my friends.
Wow.
on that machine, as long as I could get the media on, do it, and then get it off and not break anything and not ruin anybody's day job there.
Yeah.
That was kind of my introduction to nonlinear editing.
That's amazing. I didn't realize that about Avid. And so when I think of when I first got introduced to editing, I was Final Cut 7. Mm-hmm. How much before that? That would have been 2007, 2006. How many years before that was Avid? And I guess were you dabbling?
It was about 93 or 4, I think, when TC got his first machine. And I didn't play with it till probably 97 or so. I mean, in starting in junior high and high school or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was, they didn't let me go ham on it or anything, right? I mean, this was an expensive thing. It was, but by the time I was then in high school, more around the year 2000, I was able to use it a little bit more, got a little more comfortable with it, a little more trust in playing around with it.
That's
and by then it had started to shift where there was some competing products coming around and it wasn't so expensive.
Yeah. Computers started to get faster and that's really cool. And I didn't realize that it started in the early 90s.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's super
It's
cool.
crazy. Yeah.
So going back just a little bit, I'd love to kind of hear about this dynamic in your house about sitting at the table and talking about films and kind of just being TC's son and just watching him and him being on set all the time. And what that was like. Was it really cool to you? Was it like, this is so annoying because it was every day? Mm-hmm. Was he sounds like he was DPing at that time. Just tell me a little bit about that life as a child when you were watching your dad be a DP on all these films. I really nothing but good memories of that stuff, other than the sandbag stuff. Right, there's me. Out. Getting me started early. AC.
Yeah, that's right. I think I don't know if it was this picture or right after it, but I slammed my finger in the slate.
Yeah.
And did my very best to not ruin the take. Crying about it.
Yeah, those are heavy.
And of course, I
4.
don't even think they filmed that take. They were all laughing at this dumb kid that just slammed his finger in the slate. But anyway, we, from an early age, I kind of, was around this stuff.
Yeah. This is normal.
This was normal. This was, it's that's what my dad does. That's just, I didn't know any other job. The only other job I knew of was we would eat at restaurants sometimes, so you could maybe have a restaurant. What other job is there other than movies? And I don't know. It was that kind of a limited, idea of maybe the possibilities I could have.
Is that Avid?
No, so this is actual film. So this would be free Avid. Yeah, you can see all the.
I guess that makes sense with how young you are.
So that's the bin of stuff over there that they'd cut out or selects maybe that they're waiting to put into the film somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'd go down. We had 3 of these machines in my basement. I'd like go play with them and break stuff all the time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So it's just like it was just a part of life.
Totally.
So I don't know that really there was ever anything else that like really spoke to me like this, right? It was just like that was always there.
Yeah.
There's just kind of always, I think, a belief in the back of my head that like, well, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
You know?
That's really cool. And so you obviously were around it. It's just like normal to you.
Yeah.
It sounds like you got some opportunities on set and you're like, this is super hard.
Yeah, it was just like not creative, I think, is the main thing, you know?
You
like
weren't quite there yet.
Yeah, and of course it's not it's not when you're first starting, like that's not the job, but like I don't know, as like a young dumb teenager, you're I don't know, you're looking for maybe more adventure or something at that point. But I will say like one cool thing that did happen then was actually like when I met Jared Hess.
Nice.
He's just a few years older than me. About the time he was 14, through a family friend, he kind of got connected with TC, and TC started bringing him down on set as well. And so he like every summer from 14 to I don't know, probably 18 or something, Jared was down there working on a feature with TC. And so I got to know him there. Man, he even back then was like, I just thought he was like the most creative person in the world. He would like tell me these little, you know, he was like making a Star Wars fanfic or movie or something, and with a green screen, and it just blew my mind that like, how can this kid, like this 15-year-old, be able to do that? Like that's insane. Yeah. Stuff that now is like would be totally taken for granted, but man, it was just so inspiring back then. It was anyway really cool to get to know him. He was just Jared back then, and then all of a sudden to watch him, you know, make this movie and have it explode in a way that like no one saw coming. Right. It was like one of the coolest things I've ever like been able to kind of somewhat be around. Yeah. We were just all so proud of him and like just couldn't believe it was happening, you know. It's
really cool. And you see, obviously you and it happens with so many people that essentially make it big or have something pop off. It's like that's when it kind of starts and that everyone notices. But then when you're talking about this like 14 to 18 just grind fest for him, and he's just going to school, but then in the summers he's on films, and you're seeing this creativity early, and it's really cool. Like, and then it's like, okay, he worked hard for that and it ended up working out, and it's really cool. So that's unique that you were able to like, be his friend and obviously watch that kind of blossom.
He had the most amazing vocabulary even back then. I mean, if you watch any of his films, like the way that the characters talk, you just don't hear that in any other film. It's like, it's because of him. Like, and even back then, he just had like ways to put words together that were just unlike anything you'd ever heard before. He was just like super fun to be around. I mean, really, it was like, looking back, what an amazing thing to be able to be around him a little bit.
That's really cool.
When he's getting going.
And when you were on set and you're working with him, obviously you were probably in the grip department or you're helping out with camera, just like carrying stuff, cleaning up. What was your mindset at that point? Were you like, I want to be a DP like my dad, or was it like the director? Or I know you weren't dabbling in post yet.
Yeah. That's interesting question. I'll answer it with something Jared told me too, because I felt the same way, which was like the way TC was on set. You kind of, even though he was the DP, a lot of times it felt like he was running the set, like he was the director. Yeah. Honestly, at Jared, when he first started like going to school and stuff, he was on track to be a cinematographer. I think because like he was like, I thought that was like the pinnacle, that was like the top of the set, and it wasn't until then it gets going in there working on other sets that he's like, oh wait, like this isn't the guy, like there's that other guy sitting in that chair, that's the guy, that's who I want to be. But he like, it was just I don't know, TC has a really good way of working with actors, and was just really well respected, I think, and was not afraid to share his opinion or expertise on trying to make the project better. So I think initially I thought that, like, of course that would probably be the way I'd go too. That's what he did. I don't know. At some point though, I realized that was not where my strengths were,
Yeah.
And it's maybe more as I got into post, I just realized, wow, this is actually where I jive. Like this makes sense to me in a way that, shooting and lighting and all that stuff never really did.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. It's like amazing, the talent that it takes to be able to pull that off and do a good job. I don't know that it's better left for somebody else that's good at it for me.
How did you figure that out? Did you get some opportunities?
Probably, by failing at it a lot,
Yeah.
Trying it and being like, man, why is this not good? And like, I can't figure it out. And then at the same time though, kind of figuring out in editing that, like, hey, this is actually like kind of making sense to me. Like, cool. I am able to figure it out a little bit. It came more natural than probably DPing or directing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was like, you know what, I'm going to focus on this.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's worked out good enough for me.
Yeah. For 20 years you've been doing it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And so kind of going through these high school, like junior high years, as you started thinking about that next step, you didn't want to be on set, but then how did you fall into this animation program, or what was it at BYU?
Oh, it was an internship. It was a post-production internship.
So you weren't in school.
I was in school. I was at BYU.
Okay.
I had tried to go, like, I had thought I would be a film major. I had like done their little interview and all that stuff, and didn't feel good about it. Like I don't know. I actually had when I did their interview at the film program, their first question to me was not even a question. It was just, you think you can do this just because your dad does it? Like, you think that we're just going to let you in?
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't bring up TC. I know, like, that's not, but that was like, it was kind of the attitude the whole time. And it kind of soured me, where I was like, man, I don't want to be here if everybody just thinks I'm, just here for nepotism or whatever, which, I mean, hey man, nepotism served me well. I got no problem with it, but I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah, no,
for sure. And then just to be in that program and have that like following you, it's like, oh, there's TC's son.
There's this, yeah, of
course he's here.
I just,
versus like the talent.
Yeah. I just didn't want to do it. I don't know. So I ended up doing a business degree, and I did a film minor. So I was like, you know what? I can still kind of meet some of these people. I can get access to the equipment when I want, but I don't have to deal with maybe the politics of this. Yeah. And I can maybe get out of here with a degree that someone might care about at some point, you know? Like, so I don't know. It just seemed like a good alternative for me.
Cool.
So I did that, and at that time I got this internship, and that is really what steered me to post-production. I all of a sudden, I was put into a position where they basically throw me in an editing room, and they would give me projects, usually from people that the main editors there at the studio maybe didn't want to deal with. Yeah. So it was like these not very good projects that were usually not very well thought out, and they'd just come and hand me a bunch of footage, and usually the directors didn't want anything to do with the post in it. They were just, they did their part, they're done. And so it was like a really good education for me of like, how do you make something out of this with nothing to go off of, you know? And so that just happened over and over again, and it kind of became what I I kind of figured out how I could do it, and it's just started working for me. And then that just started leading to getting some other jobs outside of that internship. And eventually, by the time I was about ready to graduate, I was pretty much working full time, and honestly had a hard time graduating and making all my classes and stuff, because I was already working. Yeah.
That's really cool. How did you get this job, this internship? Was it?
Probably nepotism, I guess, honestly. But it was I kind of snuck in because they needed an extra set of hands they were working on a film down there that they needed. Like they already had an intern at the studio, but because they had this big project, they needed one more.
Yeah.
And they put out a search, and TC happened to be at the studio at that time, and he had heard about it and was like, "Hey, do you want to? Maybe you should go apply for that."
Okay.
Like I had no idea that it was available.
Super cool.
But I did, like, and it turned out what they were looking for was somebody with Avid experience.
Cool. See, that's amazing.
And it was like, well, there's no one here with Avid experience.
Yeah.
Like, I was like the only kid that would have had it, because they're just
wild.
So anyway, that just circumstances kind of worked out for me.
Yeah.
I just was ready to go because of all the stuff TC had really prepared me with before.
For sure. Yeah, to have that experience with something that wasn't very accessible.
Yeah.
Super rare. Talk to me about this, getting footage that basically is worthless, like no story, probably no shot list to go off of, and it's just like they're done with it, you need to take it over. Because I can relate to that so much. I love editing. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten footage, even from footage I've shot, and I'm like, oh no, there's a piece here that is not making this work. How do you make it work? And it's problem solving over and over and over.
It is.
It's very rare to get something that is just perfect, right?
Oh, for
sure.
And
that's what's funny about, like, all these award shows, and it's like best actor, best actress, and it's like the editor is what made you look good, because he could have showed you bad takes or cut to the wrong angle. Anyway, I love that idea of like taking something and just making it great. And it sounds like you had a frontline opportunity to just do that, and it benefited you.
It did, yes, for sure. And at first I think a lot of that, I don't know that I did make anything great, right? It was like probably still bad.
Yeah.
But it kept getting better and better, right? And like that, it is, I know that's kind of one of the most frustrating misconceptions when you say, hey, I'm an editor, I edit stuff. Yeah. Most people are like, oh, you mean you like just take what they shot and you put that and that together? Yeah. And that's it. Like, not easy. Sounds easy. Yeah. And it's like, man, it's a puzzle
with a million pieces that could go together.
Yeah. It could be anything. Yeah. And it also is nothing at the same time. Yeah. And it's just all up to what decisions are you going to make and what problems are you going to solve? Yeah. It was like, I was fascinated by the neglect that a lot of these directors had for like, it was like, we can make something or nothing out of this stuff. Like, your job is not done. How do you not care about this? Like, there's still so much more to go. Yeah. But I'm grateful that, I don't know, it worked out that way, because it was like such a valuable skill to learn that I think a lot of even a lot of editors that, I don't know, the editors in name at least say, oh yeah, I edit and stuff, but like they haven't had to go through that of like figuring out like what this could be. And it is, oh man, it can be so exhausting and hard and terrible, but also like amazingly cool that you can just create something out of what was nothing, or what was just the most poorly thought out and executed, piece of garbage that could come across your desk.
Isn't it tough too? And at least for me, when I hit a kink like that, like let's just say it happened the most when I was editing like a docu-series that follows a story, but it's mostly getting figured out along the way, and then you have to like figure out how to get from this scene to that scene, and there's just no way to make it happen. And you spend hours like trying things, and you just keep taking, and all of a sudden it just works, and it's like the best feeling ever when you hit that. Do you find yourself similar? Like, I guess it kind of leads into the experience you have in those early days of what you were editing.
Oh man, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you get into it and it's like, there is no way for this to work. Like, you just can't see it. How are you going to do this? And you just like sit there and grind at it and try, and then all of a sudden there is something, and it's like, oh
my gosh, I see the path.
Like, there is a way. That's amazing. Like, that's magic. It seriously is like one of the coolest parts of filmmaking, I think, that there is.
It's fun. We could nerd out on editing. It's very rare to nerd out on editing. Like, most people are like, please don't give me any edits.
I don't care.
What did you find this, I guess, what kind of style were you editing at that point? What was it like commercials? Was it documentaries? Was it features, like, or mini features? Like, what was this? What were you editing at this production internship?
It was like a lot of corporate stuff at that internship. But that lasted for maybe 3 or 4 years. But it, mostly like kind of docu style, but corporate things. And luckily within I don't know that I would have lasted if that was all that there ever was for the rest of my life.
That'd be tough.
But then within a few years, it honestly started to be a huge variety of things where it's everything from the corporate world to through commercials, TVs, and like feature films, that I just felt really lucky to be involved on like any of those bigger projects, because they're just so rare that to come along, especially here in there's a lot of production stuff that happens in Utah. A lot of that post gets moved somewhere else. So stuff that did happen around here that I could get my claws into, I've just felt lucky with every opportunity.
What did you find was your process as you started to get opportunities to edit? Were you doing projects from footage ingested, take it to the finish line? Were you like more of just a senior editor at this point, like 3 to 4 years into it?
No, I mean, man, I still feel like almost everything that I get is like from beginning to end. Maybe I'd say over the last few, I don't know, decade or so, it's started to at least like there's somebody that does sound and color and like the finishing stages maybe goes off somewhere else, but like there just is rarely a budget for like an actual post team. It's always like as bare bones as it could be. I feel it's like everything is a passion project that you're doing a favor for somebody and trying to help somebody out, and so it's just very often that like you're going the whole way, which can be fine if there's enough time for it, because then I honestly don't mind starting out having to do the ingest and logging and all that stuff, because then that's my first time getting to watch everything. Right.
That's a huge piece that I'm always telling editors, is to make sure you watch everything. As time consuming as that is, it's like you're going to be editing and there's going to be an idea or something that you need there, and you're like, oh yeah, I saw that in this clip, let's go grab it. Right. You're 3 to 4 years into this internship, you love editing. Sounds like you're doing everything from editing, assembly, colored, all the stuff. What was kind of going back to your journey, like, did you see this is my career? Did you see a direction you wanted to head with post, especially knowing like your dad's shooting features and things like that?
I mean, so he had not, about that time he started doing short films. He wasn't jumping into doing a feature yet, but there was still kind of a market for short films back then, which honestly doesn't exist anymore, where you could sell them on DVD or something. And so he was doing that, and I started in on about like the second one of those that he did, and it started, I don't know, started to see like, hey man, the like editing, any project is fun, but like editing films is like, man, there's just something special about that like want to just take any of those opportunities that come along. And so I think my first couple films were TC films, and some of those were ones that maybe he got hired to direct, and then he started to do his own. And they, I learned so much from just work. Like he at that point, he'd been working for 30 plus years on film. He had a lot of knowledge, and just, I tried to be as much of a sponge as I could, soaking in everything, and learning as much as I can. And then, after getting one or two of those under my belt, I started to get calls from other outside people. 'Cause I mean, it's one thing to edit like a short form something. It just is like there's just so much more on the line, and so it just is a bigger deal, bigger project to be able to manage something as big as a feature.
Yeah.
So I think those phone calls didn't come until I had kind of proven that I could do it without totally screwing up everything,
Yeah, it's a huge test. I've actually never edited a feature or anything above like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I've edited
which is
TV
still,
shows.
that still is, I mean, to do something longer than a YouTube short these days is like, it's still
rare.
kind of a big project to do.
Yeah. I was one of the editors on Making Good.
Oh, cool.
Jack Murgis, I ended up editing like that first season, quite a few episodes, and I think into the second season, and then I just got too busy because that's right when I started my business. But those were the longest videos I edited, and that's probably one of the most grueling things I sat through, where you're getting fulfilled and you're having all this motivation, and then it's like, I got to go from this scene to this scene, and it's like, how am I going to make this happen? And finding those moments that just like, oh yeah, I did it. I can keep going. Never anything longer than that. A lot of short form stuff these days. Are you just primarily, I don't want to jump ahead too far, we can go back a little bit after this question, but are you primarily just features now, or when you're editing? I know you're directing now.
No, I'd still say, I mean, honestly, about anything that pays the bills and comes across the desk, right? I'm willing to do. Because of this film, Standout, I've actually had to step kind of back from editing things. There's just it's been absolutely inundating. I had no idea it was what I was getting into, really. I think. Yeah.
I'm excited to talk about that. But before we get there, do you have, I don't know if it's a good story or a good film that you, in those early days, that you are more proud of, that you remember as like one of your favorites, that maybe we can look up or show, or just, whether it's a trailer or just something that comes out in your mind as one of your favorite moments from those days?
Yeah. I mean, I could talk, for days about any of TC's films. Like, those have been like highlights, to be able to work with my dad on so closely and on those things. I mean, that's just like, who gets to do that? Like,
is he the type of director that wants to sit with you and help, or is he just a feedback?
Oh, he'll, I mean, we typically would work in a way where, like, he'll give me rein to do a first cut. Cool. And then after that, we start sitting together, and we make his changes and just keep refining and refining. Yeah. But maybe I'd tell about maybe a more unique one that it was not a film that I think a lot of people haven't seen, but Jared gave me a shot at editing one of his films called Don Verdeen. Okay. It was about 2015-ish, about the time you would have been on Cokeville. Yeah. Did this about the same time.
And this was post Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, this is he had done Napoleon, he'd done Nacho Libre, he'd done Gentleman Broncos, and this was like his next kind of independent one.
Okay, I hadn't heard of Gentleman's Broncos.
Oh yeah, that's another. Anyway.
Is it a comedy?
It is. Okay. Yeah.
I'll have to see it.
Like, in my opinion, they're all awesome. Yeah. Like, I just think he has such a unique voice.
Yeah.
I get it, like, just laugh my butt off at every
You know
single
when it's his.
thing. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, Nacho is so funny.
But like, I think, yeah, I mean, I know for sure, like, Gentlemen Broncos and Don Verdeen just did not. I don't know. They didn't do as well. But Don Verdeen was fun and unique in that they had me there on set throughout the whole thing. So I was there
Cool.
while they shot everything, and it has huge names in it. It's Sam Rockwell, Jermaine Clement, Amy Ryan, Will Forte, Danny McBride. Like, to be able to be on set with these people that were like are legends to me,
Yeah.
like, just, you know, people that I would have never thought I would be around
Yeah.
to spend time with them. Like, that was so unique.
And being on set as an editor, you're just hanging out.
I mean, they
Like, what
wanted
is
me
the-
to try to edit on set.
Oh yeah, like
Like,
after each day.
I was capturing, like,
You're
live
DIPing.
capturing.
Yeah.
It was strange. Like, it was partially because Jared was so busy. He was trying to fit this in while working on another film called Masterminds. That was like
Yeah.
a studio film. It was bigger money, all this stuff. So it was like there was just not the schedule for him to really take his time and stuff. So it was like we had to
Get it done.
do as much as we could on set. But it was, I don't know, just because of that was such a unique situation, and like great crew, great people. It was a lot of fun to. I don't know that I'll ever have, another film like that where I would be on set as the editor with these huge names. I don't know, Sam Rockwell just coming over and like, hey, show me that take. Oh,
Cool.
how's this scene cutting together? Like,
That's so fun.
it was crazy.
So you would say that it's cool to hear you talk about a film that maybe wasn't as popular, because I had never heard of it.
Yeah.
But it does have some big names in it.
It does. It has huge names in it. I don't know. It was not well received, really. It would just, too bad. I think, honestly, Jared sometimes just gets like an unfair kind of backlash from, I don't know, just maybe because Napoleon was
Just standards are
so
way too
good.
high.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I think it like a little like harshly judged. And anyway, I love it. It was one of my favorite experiences.
So I have to imagine, like, when you do have that kind of standard you've set with like Napoleon and Nacho Libre, how like everyone's gonna have those films that just don't,
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
And by working means that no one's watching.
Yeah.
Or they aren't talking about it, I
Yeah.
guess.
Right.
I'd love to hear about that when you're editing a feature on set. And there's probably a lot of people listening that have no idea what that world looks like. When you're taking a card, you're ingesting the footage, you're organizing the footage, you're probably in a van.
I was actually sitting there
on a chair.
set, like next
With
to
a
every, like
laptop.
I was there.
Wow.
It was wild.
Yeah.
And it was not a great way to edit.
Yeah.
I honestly, I actually don't know that we used anything that I cut there.
Yeah.
Like, I think Jared saw everything I did and was like, I made a mistake. Who is this kid? Why did I bring him here?
Yeah.
And we pretty much trashed it all. And then later, when he had time, started working on it at his house. Like,
Okay.
But
at least you're able to make sure scenes were working and
yes,
cutting
there
all
was
that.
that for sure. We
Yeah.
knew if we got it, if we needed something else. Like,
Yeah.
there were moments like that it was helpful.
Cool.
But yeah, it's not fun to be doing that and have somebody that you have
Dude.
costumes coming over, just looking
Yes.
over your
It's
head.
not done yet. Don't
why,
look.
why are you? You should have a sound effect there. And it's like, I
is-
know we should. I'm working on it. I'm getting it.
Oh my gosh.
We're trying to get this to anyway. Yeah.
There's nothing harder as an editor than showing someone knowing it's not done. You
Yeah.
have to preface that, but then they still are like, oh, this isn't, ready. It's like, I know it's a rough cut,
Yeah.
especially
exactly.
on set. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
So from there, looking at your dad's films, is there a film that stands out in your mind as one that you enjoyed the most that we could look at as an editor?
Man, enjoyed the most. I've enjoyed all of them. I really have. the two that would come to mind would be 17 Miracles at first, just because like we were totally unproven at that point. We, especially me, I had hardly done anything at that point, and I had to do things like all these visual effects and stuff that I just was ill prepared for, but had to figure out.
Yeah.
And looking back, it's like, oh man, it all could be so much better. I wish it was better. But like the truth is the end result of it was it did really well.
Yeah.
Like it was a huge success in the Utah market.
Yep.
And it was a big risk for TC to, do this, and it was really cool to just be a really small part of it and watch, my dad succeed at something like this
after all those years.
Yeah.
And just like do something of
his own. It was really special, for sure.
Can you explain, because I imagine this one, you took it from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Did everything.
Yes.
With your dad's feedback, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like when you're editing a film like this, there's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of just pacing and things, figuring out as a feature what shot, when to cut to close-ups versus the wides. Like, did you have a style at this point that you were like leaning on, or were you figuring that out still when you were cutting this?
I don't know that I did. I was smart enough to at that point.
Yeah.
It was a kind of a baptism by fire with this one, though. It was because it was not it's not a film that's a normal story structure.
Yeah.
It really is like a string of vignettes that could have been placed in any order.
Mm-hmm.
And it made it so it was like I don't even know how many versions we went through on this, because like it's like, well, maybe it's better if this is here, and maybe we don't need that scene, with like way more than any other film I've ever been a part of. It was just so modular almost.
Yeah. And
so because of that, you like then figuring out how everything transitions and flows and paces. I don't know that I was necessarily very good at it then. But we just worked really hard at it and a really long time at it to try to get it as good as we could. Yeah,
it sounds like with this being a success, I'm sure you started to figure out your style, your voice. And do you remember that while you were cutting this, like starting to find things you enjoyed to cut more than others, like this scene versus that scene?
Yeah, I mean, I just love editing. I kind of love it all, but there are like different things I love about it. Like, there's might be scenes where it's like a more action heavy scene, and there are 40 different setups or something for that one scene, right?
That's so like, overwhelming.
It can be.
Which
right?
camera do I cut to
what
next?
do I use? And some of it might be stuff you don't need to use at all. And it's just kind of a red herring in there that's like they shot it. I don't know. But then there's other scenes that are like maybe seemingly more simple, that are like it's a dialogue scene between two actors or something. But man, we're typically working with actors that are not, these are not Hollywood SAG actors, right? They're like local people. They need all the help they can get. Not that a lot of them they're great. It's just this isn't their full time. So like
cut around a lot.
Yeah, there's just stuff where it's like we gotta get the best performance out of this as possible.
Yeah.
That can be really hard in a dialogue scene with like more amateur actors, right?
Yeah.
You want to make sure you're putting your best foot forward with those scenes, and I don't know. It can just be a challenge sometimes there's just not that much coverage to like really cut around, so you have to like get real creative with it. So there was just we had all of those challenges with a film like this, and to work through all that, go through that process, but also like have the safety net of like TC's there. He like he has a little more experience and can
give some direction.
Has a vision of how this is supposed to go. Anyway, it was a great learning ground.
I'm
for
sure. Going to that point about cutting a dialogue scene, something that drives me crazy, and a lot of the time it's not the editor's fault, but cutting between cameras and the continuity between actors are changing between, if it's shot at a different time, like sometimes you're rolling both cameras. A lot of times you're going to flip the world and you end up the actor's doing something completely different. As an editor, that's like a challenge, right? And I'll see that and I'm like, oh, why did you use that? But then I don't know what else was shot, like the editor's smile, or the person looking in the dirty frame and they're smiling, or they're looking this way, and then you cut back and they're looking this way with no smile. When you're in that kind of a situation where you're cutting around actors that the continuity's not there, what's like your process when you're going through that, like when you're trying to fix it?
You know, there's a editor named Walter Murch, who's like, you know, the king of the world editor. He's done amazing, like huge projects, and he's really gone through and theorized like why you cut and when you cut. Cool. And you know, in his theory, there was like 6 things or something, and near the top was emotion, and like, and then the other things, like it just is like a little less important, each one of these things, and like, you know, somewhere in the middle is like continuity or something like that, right? Interesting. And so it wasn't that it, like, it's not that that's not important, it is important. And like that can be like super distracting, and if it is, like, I don't think it's working. But there's just, especially when you're, I don't know, you're given the material you're given, like you typically you can't go shoot something else, right? And it's like, okay, the very first thing, the thing we need to do the most is make sure that like the emotion, the story, like that is as good as it can be. And if that's there, then we can kind of work on the continuity and like the other aspects of it. And if you have to sacrifice one or the other, well, you're going to sacrifice continuity for the right emotion, right? So and that I don't love that choice. You would love to just have, can I just have all of them all the time? Like that would be the best. But I mean, I'm sure I've probably cut something that you've watched and been like, why would they do that?
And I have no idea the context.
But it's like, I mean, I'm probably sitting there going like, I know. I wish that wasn't that, but like, of the choices I had, that was the best one. You know, it, like, to keep the emotion going. I know that, like, I've seen that a lot in like a lot of Martin Scorsese movies. Like it's all about like the emotion of the scene or whatever, and it's like there is so many times where it's like they don't even care that the continuity is like not even close. And it's like, as long as it's like making the audience feel the way he wants you to feel, I don't know, he's like less concerned about that, I guess.
That's cool. I had never thought of it that way, where it's like there's a pecking order and continuity falls here, and as long as, you know, you're hitting these first ones, those are all there, and then let's focus on continuity. But before that, if it's not there, there's all these other things. That's really cool. It reminded me of a story, and I don't know if you've seen it. It's I think it's called The Cut, but it's basically editors and directors talking through editing and the importance of it. And one of the lines was, the difference between a great scene and a bad scene is one frame. And that can change everything. And they talked about Jaws. And there was like, the editor was saying, if I would have left one extra frame, that frame could have destroyed the film from, you know, being a blockbuster hit to being a flop. Because it would show the shark in a way that looked fake. Or more fake. And that's always been a philosophy I've taken into editing, is it's so important for me when I'm training editors to focus on every single frame. It's not just like, you know, here's the scene. It's like, I mean, I'm talking down to that one frame and making sure it's perfect. Do you find yourself having that same philosophy when it comes to editing?
For sure. I mean, it's like especially with like actors and stuff, you know, like if you hang on just a little bit too long or you cut a little bit too short, all of a sudden that scene means something different, like that, like the emotion that they're giving off. Now all of a sudden, instead of reading sincere, maybe it reads like, oh, they're hiding something or whatever, you know, like you're trying to use that and that timing and pacing to your advantage, and not just, it's not a haphazard, you know, oh, just see where it lands and it's fine. Like, like it all, especially in when you're working on a film, something that people are going to go see on a screen and judge like that, like it all matters. Yeah, for sure.
It's a lot of pressure when you're thinking about your film being displayed so large.
Yeah.
And it'll get picked apart.
Yeah, for sure.
So when it comes to emotion as an editor, and when you're editing scenes that are emotional and they need those pacing, and it even kind of lends itself to talk about comedies, but like when you're trying to draw emotion out of someone as an editor, what do you think about when it comes to making it land as an editor? Like when you're in that room, you've got music playing in your favor, you've got scenes that are drawn out, you've got actors crying, whatever it is that like you lean into, how do you think about that scene, and how do you draw emotion through editing? Kind of a deep question.
That's a good question. And I don't know if I have only one approach.
Yeah.
I would say, though, that like a lot of times there's, I don't know, different philosophies of that, where it's like, if it works without music, if you can get it to work and convey the emotion without any music, like then you know, when we add music to this, it's gonna kill. Like it's gonna be great. And so there may be that. It may be like kind of an initial cut of trying it without music, of just seeing if you can get the pacing right and the emotions kind of right. There's some, though, like honestly, you know, it's like I don't know, we're here in Utah, we're not in Hollywood, and a lot of times it's not the best stuff that's coming in, and it's like it needs all the help it can get. So like it might be, you know what, from the get-go here, we found an amazing piece of music that gives the emotion that we want this scene to have. Let's just start with that and try to build with it, and have that help us, you know. I mean, I don't know, I think I've done it both ways, and probably other ways too. And I don't know if there's a right way, or if I do it the right way.
Totally.
But
and so much of it is just developing that intuition. And just, there's some collaboration in there too. Like, did they feel that? But a lot of it when it comes to emotion, I've found, is like hanging on a little longer than maybe you might on something, that's as you feel that watching someone kind of go through it, and it's like, don't leave. Stay there, or it's a reaction you got to cut to. But it's totally film by film, and so it's kind of a loaded question, but just wanted to hear kind of your thoughts on emotion, because it's probably my favorite part of editing, is when you're able to draw emotion out of people by a choice you made. And that's why I got into editing. I remember wanting to edit like movie trailers, and just getting the chills and getting fired up or emotional, because movie trailers are so much about just editing, right? And like the pacing, and pacing is so important. I've got so many other things I could ask you, but I really want to talk about this transition from editor to director. You talked about how that film kind of came about. Before it even came, and you, like, when were you considering directing?
Man, I mean, it honestly, probably for the last 10 years, it's been in the back of my mind of like, I think I gotta make that jump at some point. You know, like, I don't know how long I can sustain just editing. It also just seems like the landscape's changing a little bit, where like a lot of the stuff that I would work on that would pay the bills is kind of going away. Like that kind of middle ground of I don't know, commercials and corporate stuff. It's like, it just seems like it's kind of dividing into like really low budget stuff, or like, you know, super big agency things that like are more rare to come across where we are here. And so I just, like, as I was kind of seeing that happen, I was like, man, I think maybe I should try to make that jump at some point, but was just waiting for the opportunity, though. You know, I didn't want to just jump in with just whatever without a good idea. But when this project came along, it was like immediate. It was like, that is an amazing idea. Like I want to do that. Like I want to make that happen. And it was a sacrifice though. And it was like, I mean, to be determined if I made the right choice.
Yeah.
Because, so just before Standout got going, I finished a doc series. It was my biggest, probably the most ambitious, biggest series I'd ever worked on. It was for Netflix. It's called Muscles and Mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
It's the American Gladiators TV show from the 90s, right? And it was 5 episodes, an hour long each, and there were so many obstacles and problems that came up during post on that. And not because of the people, like it was great people to work with, just stuff outside of our control.
Yeah.
But we got through all of it, and it ended up, I felt, turning out really well. And it kind of gave me the confidence of like, man, if I ever had a doc come across, an opportunity like that, maybe I could do it.
Yeah.
I think I could maybe do it. And it wasn't like, it was like 3 months later that Standout kind of started happening. And it really, I don't know that I would have had the confidence to jump in without that Netflix doc.
Cool.
Just before.
And you saw a lot of the problems that you could avoid, and you're editing so much. It's just like, I've found so many times when I'm directing, so much of that editing experience comes into play when you're like trying to talk to your DP about a scene and how it works. And it's like, well, that won't cut to this because of this. And you just don't have that unless you're editing.
Right.
When you're talking about taking that first opportunity as a director, I'm sure you've heard this from everyone, or maybe even your dad, that it's like, I think Steven Spielberg talked about it. I can't even phrase what he said, but it's all about taking that opportunity when you think you're ready. And if you do it too early, and it flops, you could easily become like that guy, and then the jobs will dry up. So it's like, when it comes to a film like Jaws, obviously that blew up his career, he could have taken something too early. I think he ended up being ready for that, obviously. But with you having the right opportunity come to you and making sure, was that like a thought in your mind? Because that's a lot of pressure. It's like, I could make this and it would
It's terrifying,
kill.
Man. Yeah.
And you think of Jared Hess with Napoleon Dynamite. Like, it landed, so now he's got a career.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's terrible. And I still don't know the results of it.
Right.
That's like, right? Like, it's...
Seems to be on the right track.
Yeah, it's going okay now.
Yeah.
Like, I hope that it leads to more. I really do. I think it's, like, not going to be a failure at this point, like a huge failure. I think it's going pretty good.
Cool.
So, will it lead to more stuff? I don't know. I honestly may see if you guys need a janitor around here sometime soon. Like, I don't know.
We'll
I might be back in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But it was it was scary. Like, when I made the jump to doing this film, I ended up turning down 3 different Netflix doc series jobs.
No. And then that's like, because you're like, oh, if I keep turning them down, like, they're not going to call me.
They're never calling again, I think. I think it's over,
down,
right?
Yeah.
I don't think you can turn them down 3 times.
Yeah.
I think then they're like, okay, all right.
You're obviously not editing
Yeah,
anymore.
you're not doing this. So, and it's not that I didn't want to do them. Like, they would have been great. Some of them have come out already, and like they're awesome. They would have been really fun projects to work on. I just felt like this was my shot, though, and I needed to take it, and I needed to not be distracted with other. Those jobs are, they're a year or more,
so long.
And full time, and it's inundating. I wouldn't have been able to do a feature during that time. It just so happened that this feature took way too long to make. It took about 3.5 years. Wow. And so that was the risk, I guess. It's like, man, this better be good, because I had to give up a lot for it.
Yeah. So while he was here, you were in the process of filming that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's
for sure.
really cool.
Yeah.
And when I'd love to hear about working on set as the director, taking ownership and being that guy that everybody comes to with questions. You obviously had your mentors with you, which is probably amazing.
It was.
Yeah. Tell them, just being on set and taking charge finally for the first time. What is that like?
I mean, man, it was a lot of pretending like I knew what I was doing, right?
Yeah,
like
so much of it is.
So much, right?
Yeah.
You just fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it is, there's so many decisions that have to be made in a quick amount of time. And so I feel just amazingly fortunate at the way that it worked out.
Yeah.
And honestly, in a lot of it, there was just so many times where it happened where it felt like this is bigger than me, or this is just like I don't know, like it's more like it's whether you want to say it's God or like creativity or what, just like something flowing through to like get this project done, rather than like that I'm so smart, because I'm not. Like I don't know that I don't know that I could do it again the same way, right? There was just a lot of things that happened where it was like, man, that worked out amazingly, and I don't think I couldn't have just like made that happen. Like it just happened that way.
Yeah.
So I don't know, nothing but gratitude for like the people that were there with me on set, surrounding me, TC and then the rest of the team. Seriously, like having TC's there, he's like it's like having a cheat code on set. It seriously is.
Yeah, I'm sure that's so nice.
It is so unbelievably not even just like the lighting and setting the shots and the shot list and everything we need and making sure we got everything, but like then the producing side of it as well. Like he's done so many films and has seen so many different problems and things. He just
avoiding it.
He's so good at stretching a dollar as far as it can go, and like keeping you on budget and everything. It like really, like without him, we wouldn't have had a movie.
So cool. Like, but that's not even like as much credit, or you're not giving yourself enough credit, I think. Obviously we have our mentors, and everyone needs someone that's done it before to teach us, but you're the director, and to be able to create a feature over 3.5 years is insane to me. And so I think you give yourself a little more credit.
Oh well,
it's amazing. It's
I mean,
like something I've never done.
The on-set stuff too, I'm honestly less confident in, really, because I just haven't spent as much time on that. So I probably over-prepared,
which is
in
great.
A lot of ways, which is
that you can't prepare
served
too
well.
much.
It was good. But and then the great thing about it taking so long is I had time in the edit to like really shape it.
So you edited it.
I did. I mean,
amazing.
Yeah, I know that's like sometimes not such a good thing to have the director edit your own stuff. You fall in love with it. You don't, I tried to insulate myself from that a little bit, where I wouldn't just make decisions based on because I think I'm so great or something. We probably screened the film over those 3.5, or it's probably over about a 2.5 year period. We probably screened it something like 40 to 50 times.
Wow.
To different groups, just to try to get feedback and is there something I'm not seeing that needs to be fixed or could be better, or is there a better idea, a better approach? And so and then that just ends up being it's just kind of a grind, like going through that, and then you show it to somebody, and then you got to sit there for another hour or two and let them just rip you apart about everything they think is dumb in your film, and not react to it, not get upset about it, but really try to listen and understand and see, is there something that they're saying that is true, right? That there's something that maybe a problem that can be fixed or something.
So cool.
Anyway,
there's two questions I have that I want to ask about the film. The first one is just, how was it directing and working with Ben Kerr? And I said his last name right.
Yes, you did. Kerr. Yeah. Got it.
What was it like working with him and being able to form the story about his life?
I think that anybody put in that position of like, we want to make a movie about your life.
Yeah.
Like that could be a really, I don't love that.
There's your mug.
My face a little too close up there. Yeah, a little too big.
Now we can see it in two ways.
working with Ben, like that could easily be a situation where that does not go well.
Yeah.
Like where you're trying to tell somebody's life.
Yeah.
You have conflicting views or whatever of how it should be told.
Totally.
And it turns into, just a mess.
A frustration.
And it has not been that at all. It's been an absolute like joy to work with him. He's an amazing dude. He has lived an incredible life, and I am so lucky that he was willing to let me try to do his story justice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just super collaborative.
Yeah. We tried to keep him involved as much as possible, without compromising, I don't know, like the story or, I think there could be a tendency of like trying to make this guy into a superhero that has no faults and has nothing, and he was very willing to like, no, we're going to show like warts and all, and try to just tell the best story we can.
Yeah.
And I hope, that it's been a lot of trust, a mutual trust between us that we developed and ended up working really well.
Yeah, it's a sensitive thing. You're dealing with someone's life and story and wanting to represent them in a good way, but also the reality of it. Like, he's had a rough life, and that's kind of what strengthened him, obviously, into what he's accomplished. And, the harder life is at the beginning, the stronger you get. And that's like a real big part of his message. Which kind of goes into like what I wanted to ask next, which is this scene. And I noticed on your the Instagram, one of the more popular videos was about how to direct an actor, a child actor, in a bullying scene and protect that actor, because clearly that's tough and you're directing that. What was that like?
Yeah, what made that unique, I mean, I think, a lot of times it's like if you're just hiring actors or whatever, like, and one's a bully and one's like, I don't know if you'd be as concerned about it. But we had this guy, we had Colton, who's not an actor. We were looking for someone that had the same condition as Ben. Ben was born with Crouzon syndrome. Yeah. It's a thing that affects your face and the way it grows and the way the skull forms. And we had been looking forever, and we, by a miracle, found Colton, who's 5 years old and dealing with the same things Ben dealt with, surgeries, and I mean, I'm sure deals with bullying on a daily basis probably in his own life. But man, we had these scenes with Colton in them that almost every scene Colton was in was probably like some kind of a bullying scene, some kind of a tough scene like that. And we did not want him to have to go through more trauma than he needs to, right? It was something we were like really concerned with, especially because he's not an actor and he's only 5 years old.
Yeah.
So our solution was, when we brought him on set and would do these scenes, we'd shoot it first with him there, and we'd have the actor, the bully or the mean dad or somebody, whoever it was, say things to him that were just like nonsense things rather than actually mean stuff. And we'd be shooting his reactions and trying to do, get everything that we needed for him so that he didn't have to hear, any of the mean stuff that actually happened to Ben.
Yeah.
We'd go through that. We'd run the scene that way, get everything we needed, and then take Colton out of there and shoot it again. Turn around and have the bullies let loose, and say what Ben heard.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Colton's going to go home and see that when he watches the film, right? It's not like we're protecting him from that forever, but at least he didn't have to sit there and endure that over and over and over, take after take after take.
Yeah.
It was just our little attempt at trying to spare him, a little bit of humanity while we're shooting these scenes.
What a challenge.
Yeah.
Like, such a sensitive thing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like getting emotional thinking about it, and how cool for him, Colton, to have Ben on set with him. And
man.
I have to imagine Ben took him under his wing and just like felt for that kid.
Absolutely.
Because the kid doesn't know, and he's like, you're going to go through a lot of hard times, man.
For
Colton
sure.
knows.
I think Ben is Colton's hero, like it was like, and how cool is that to be able to be in something like this
Totally.
with your hero, and Colton did such a great job. Like we've gotten reviews back and stuff, like just one the other day that was like, said, man, this kid has acting chops. Like he's got a bright future ahead of him. And it's like, man, he does. That kid can do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
And we're just glad we could be like a launching pad for him.
So
It was amazing to be able to work with him. His family is Colton's family as well as Ben's. They're just incredible people, like willing to put their kids out there even when they have differences, and let them shine anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
So cool. Promote your movie a little bit. Like, I'd love to hear what's coming, how people can go see it, why they should see it, things like that we can, put out there.
Yeah. We're so Standout is a feature film that's out in theaters right now. It's in if you go to standoutfilm.com, we have lists of all the theaters we're in and everything we're doing right now. It is a film about Ben Care, who was born with a facial difference. True story of how he overcame that difference, overcame all the expectations that were put on him because of that difference, telling him, you know what, you're never going to have a normal life. You can't do sports. You just can't do things a normal kid can do. And him basically, turning around and saying, watch me, I am going to do it. He becomes an incredible wrestler. He turned to wrestling as a way to overcome a lot of these challenges. Ends up becoming Utah Valley University's first ever All-American athlete, and goes on to become a world champion at the age of 40. He's still doing this. And then, of course, there's other challenges. Romantic life. You're never going to be able to get married or have kids. Like, it's just all of these things that he had to overcome, and with the help of an amazing family, an amazing community, and people that surrounded him, he did. It's like we've heard it said that it's like the little boy from Wonder. If you've seen that film, Augie,
yeah,
it's as if he grew up to be Rocky.
Yeah,
except this actually happened.
Yeah,
and anyway, we're really proud of how the film turned out. It's been reviewed incredibly well, and we're so grateful for that. And we're in theaters now, and then later this year we'll go to streaming and do all the other things that you try to do to get your film out there.
Yeah, so cool. Definitely go check it out. I need to go check it out.
Yeah, you
First
do.
of all,
yeah,
I can't even believe I'm here without having watched it already.
It's starting on Friday at the Lehigh Megaplex. So,
oh, way cool.
Yeah,
that's perfect then. Right down the road from me.
Right down the road.
With all this, where are you headed? What does the future look like for you? Probably a lot of it's determined by the success of this film, but let's just say this film is received well as it can be, and what if you were to paint the picture for your own life, where would you want it to head?
I mean, I don't think I'm going to become a billionaire or anything off of this film.
Yeah.
But the hope has always just been that it can go well enough that we can do it again.
Yeah.
We can, get the chance to make another one.
Yep.
That's kind of always the hope.
Yeah.
I know with TC's films, he's been incredibly lucky or savvy, maybe a combination, where I don't think he's had a film that hasn't been a financial success for him.
Cool.
And not that it's like, oh, he's making so much money off it, but enough to be able to do it again.
Yeah.
And I mean, I hope that gets to be the case with me. I have no idea still yet. It's still early, and I'm an unproven, nobody at this point. So I'm just looking forward to hope that an opportunity comes knocking again, and if it will, I'll hope to be ready for it.
Yeah. Well, you're doing something right by being here, talking about your film, talking about your experience. I think that's what I love about this podcast is you probably talked about a lot of things that a lot of people don't know. Mm-hmm. And if they listen to this, I think that adds a lot more value behind this film. Mm-hmm. I tell everyone on this podcast, like, by the end of it, I'm rooting for you because I like you know your trials, you know your successes, you know what you're doing, and then to see you doing something like a feature, it's like, man, I really hope it's doing well. Where before that, it's like, oh, there's a movie. There's no emotion behind it for me other than I knew who Brendan Kerr was. So yeah, I'm really excited for you. I really hope it does well. I'm going to support it. Anyone that's watching this, go see the film. Not that our audience is groundbreakingly huge, but we'll get a few people to go buy a ticket. That's awesome.
We'll take anybody we can get, man.
100%.
I don't want it to just be me and my mom sitting in the theater. So please come out. Yeah.
Well, I've seen the reviews from people on Instagram, and it sounds like it's going super well. And so excited for you, man.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate it.
Hope the future turns out well. And I tell everyone that in 5 to 10 years, if this podcast is still going, I'll have you back and we'll talk about what came from it.
I hope so. I hope I can come back and not be the guy mopping your floor. But if I have to be, man,
take it.
I'll take it. Whatever I need to do to come back. Yeah.
So cool. Well, this is a filmmaker's journey. This is your guest, Tanner Christensen. Thank you for being on, man.
Dude, thanks so much.
Cool.
Happy to be here.